All right, folks, Jason Perry, a.k.a. Old Country with iCast Enterprises, and we have just finished an amazing Vidsummit 2024. And while there, I met this young man who has walked these halls and talked to everybody constantly talking. So, Lucas, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Lucas Littel, and I am from St. George, Utah.
Awesome. Now, what is the name of your channel, Lucas?
The name of my channel is Unstoppable Ducky, and it mainly focuses on music that is copyright free, and it tries to promote it and share it to other people because the applications of copyright free music is huge. And I created my YouTube channel at about 2015, and it took me around 2018 to 2019 to realize that YouTube was my passion, and I've been uploading until 2021, 2022, and I got a little sick and I had to take a break to take care of my health.
Awesome. Well, a lot of times we run across different issues in life, and a lot of us have to deal with a little sickness here and there. I'm loud enough, they'll hear me, I promise. And so, so you took a little break, but now you're back, and I tell you what, you're at Vidsummit. Was this the first time being at Vidsummit?
Ooh, I was with my dad at Vidsummit, I think about 2 years ago.
Awesome.
And I've had an amazing time both times I've been to Vidsummit.
Awesome. So, what do you think is the most exciting thing about being at Vidsummit?
Ooh, I think one of the biggest highlights is being with my mom.
There you go.
Well, thank you.
And
Mom's like, well, let's introduce Mom real quick.
My name is Suzanne Sherman, and I am Luca's mom, and I'm really, really proud of his accomplishments. We've had a lot of struggles the past couple years, and I'm so proud of how he's overcome them. Some physical challenges, and he needed to take a break for his health. And I'm really proud to see how he was able to deal with the people, the crowd, the noise, and all the challenges you would think would have would impact him here. And he came through like a champ, made a lot of friends. People would come up to me afterwards and say, "Hey, I met your son, and he's lovely," and we're just so encouraged. And he's already diving into the YouTube formula and wants to get at it, and it's really nice to see him passionate about something. And
so we're going to start the book club, aren't we?
Yes.
We're going to study that book together.
Yes.
You and I and your mom and some other people in the community, we're going to say, okay, what'd you learn about chapter 1? And we'll go through it step by step and apply it and keep each other accountable. Say, okay, what did you learn? Now, what did you do with that?
Yes.
Because that's one of my biggest problems. I kind of go chasing squirrels when I'm supposed to be rabbit hunting.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking at shiny objects, and they get me distracted. Or something happens in life, and I'm like, I was supposed to be doing this. So I'm going to ask Lucas to kind of help keep me accountable. You say, Old Country, did you do your homework this week? And if I didn't, next time you see me at Vidsummit, you got my permission to take a little, take a paddle to me or something. We'll figure out something. We got to have something to keep me accountable, all right?
Yeah.
So you going to help me do that?
Yes.
Good deal, and I'll do the same for you.
Thank you.
And we'll get out here and teach a whole lot of other people in the community how they can take their passions, what they're happy about, what they enjoy doing, put it on film. And it might not be YouTube, it might be Instagram, it might be LinkedIn, who knows? But, there's an old saying that a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, most cameras are at 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. So if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what's 1 minute worth of video worth?
Wow.
A whole lot. And I like the fact, what's your favorite genre of music? What do you like to listen to?
It's hard to choose one. There's a bunch. I have a few hundred videos on my channel, and I love all of them. It's very hard to choose, but I love epic, cinematic, trainer music, and yeah, just a wide variety of music.
Awesome. Do you play any music yourself? I mean, are you just love listening to music?
Ooh, I would at one point like to create my own music, but as of to this point, I've mainly found copyright music and promote it and share it to other people so they can use it for their channels.
Awesome. So kind of what I'm thinking, and this is us talking. Part of it may go in an interview, part of it may not, but this is me talking.
Yeah.
We're going to start reaching out to some of them and saying that if he's going to create a whole channel and talk about your company and talk about your music, you need to figure out some way to supplement his income.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and there's a couple of companies out there that I've kind of got in mind. It just might be that one, and it's, both copyright free and, some of the creators as they go on, they want some more unique sounds and they're willing to pay for it. You might as well get an affiliate program out of it.
Yeah. Actually, my mom has an affiliate program with some stuff, and I am hopeful that actually I know that and have faith that her knowledge will help me in the future.
Absolutely.
I fully believe that her knowledge of affiliate links will help me out in the future.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate your faith in me, and fortunately here we have a lot of resources and people that are very kind and wanting to help you, and there's we learned there's a big opportunity in the marketing here that goes way beyond affiliate relationships, but actual partnerships that hopefully we can tap into for you.
Yeah.
For sure. One of which I'm wearing the shirt. I'm doing some advertising for it. High Level. I don't know if y'all are familiar with High Level, but we'll do some conversating about that in the future. But just so happens I'm going to be helping promote that, and I'd be more than happy to have you on my team.
Thank you.
Let me show you how you can offer that. And it's the good thing about certain programs is you don't have to just put it toward content creators. That's like Roger Wakefield. Roger's a plumber, and if you go to YouTube right now and type in plumbing, guarantee you Roger Wakefield's YouTube channel will pull up. Now, that's a big, I can't imagine how much he would have to have paid to be able to pull at the top of the list of Google. But if you go to YouTube, which is owned by Google, and type in plumbing, Roger Wakefield will be the top of the list. And he uses High Level. And so he was talking about how it helps in the service industry. So that ties into any mom and pop's business, any kind of company that's struggling to keep up with their CRM, which is customer relationship management systems, their landing pages, their capture pages, their follow-up emails. And if if you on your channel can say, oh, by the way, if you're struggling with this or that, here's a link. And guess what they pay you? 40% of any customer for life.
Wow.
So if they're paying $100 a month, well, actually it's $97 a month. If they're paying $97 a month, you make $38 a month every time they pay their bill.
Wow.
That adds up.
That adds up.
It does.
So that's one thing about the community with iCast is we do have a lot of people from all over the world that's really interested in trying to help push the needle forward for anybody that's willing to step up and step out and do something unique.
Yes.
And I tell you what, you've inspired me because I've watched you all weekend, or all week. You've been all over the place, just walking up to people, saying hello, introducing yourself. And I'm going to ask you to help me out on something. We've got a challenge out there. Matter of fact, we've got some people. Nick Nimmin was having a live stream with Daryl, and there was a couple of individuals had sent out a question about, how do you go up and make connections at an event like this and not be offensive or intrusive? And it started resonating with me, and there's actually a thread on there about networking for introverts that last night the Wova app told me it was just on fire because just hundreds of people are commenting. So what would be your advice for when you're at an event like this to meet new people?
Well, my advice is the first thing you want to do is walk up to a group of people who look similar to your age group and listen in on the second step is listen in on their conversation and be probably 8 feet away from them, and don't make it too obvious you're listening to them, but if the content sounds relevant, ask if you can join in. And then the fourth step, that's the third step, the fourth step is acknowledging you're interrupting. And then the fifth step is start by introducing yourself and trading information.
Spectacular. I couldn't have said that better myself.
We made lifelong friends the first night here,
Yep.
the Ventura family, and I had come back from going up to the front desk, and I found him in the middle of the whole circle, laughing, having the best time, and he just asked if he could join them, and they welcomed him. We've been keeping in touch, we're following each other, and afterwards I said, wow, that was great, and he goes, all I had to do was be myself.
There you go. And that's the thing is so I was actually told to start creating a little bit of a little course on, basically just networking for introverts. And one of the ladies that's in one of the consulting groups that I'm with, she said, yeah, name it Networking for Scaredy Cats. And my wife's like, well, that might offend somebody. I said, if they get offended over that, then they probably don't need to be at an event. But, and I've been thinking about that. I thought, we could name it Networking for Scaredy Cats, and maybe a tagline of something like, we'll take you from the little purr to the roaring lion, or the roar of a lion, but better than that, have a pride of lions roaring for you. And so, but to put what you said just in my terms is just be yourself.
I add to that.
Yes.
The sixth step I forgot to mention is if you wouldn't say it to or right next to Daryl Eves' family and or himself, don't say it to the group.
I love it.
There you go. That's perfect. And that's what I was going to say is what you brought up is in other words, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just, obviously if somebody's sitting there talking about something that you have no interest in, it's just not, it's not your forte. Just listen, acknowledge, make eye contact, shake your head at them, go on. But if it's somebody that you're like, this is my tribe, these are my people, just like you said, when they're not in the middle of talking, or they're not trying to go to the restroom, or they're not running to get on stage, you catch them and she's like, hey, have you got just a split second?
Yes.
Just wanted to say hi, my name's Lucas, boom, and just introduce yourself. And then if, and again, it's like any other interaction. Let's be honest, not everybody's the friendliest person on earth, or they may have something going on. If it's not reciprocal, you say, well, it's a pleasure meeting you, walk away. But if they're like, oh yeah, come on over. Like you said, now you've got a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
That's spectacular. I'll tell you what. And so folks, you heard it from Lucas. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. And remember, asking for help isn't giving up. It is refusing to give up.
There you go. The only way you can fail, and see, I hear a lot of people talking about, just fail and fail and fail and fail until you finally succeed. But here's the thing. The only way you can fail is when you give up. If you keep trying, it don't matter what standards you're not making, what you're not doing, whatever. As long as you ain't gave up, you hadn't failed yet. And we ain't going to give up on it.
No. No.
If you had one message to just tell the whole world, what would it be?
I'll do you one better and give you multiple.
Okay.
The first one is that a 16-ounce water bottle is less than $1 at a store and a few dollars at a gas station and more than $5 at a movie theater. The only thing that changes its price and value is the location. If you feel like you're not of value, surround yourself with people who have similar values to you.
Wow.
Okay.
I'd almost say drop that mic. Buddy, you just dropped the mic.
That's as good as it gets.
That was awesome.
And I'll do you one better by I watched a very profound video by Jim Carrey. It was about his dad who chose a safe job that he didn't like for a long time. And to sum it up, Jim Carrey said that you're gonna fail at what you don't want to do and what you want to do, so you might as well choose what you want to do.
Now we'll enjoy it while you're doing it.
Yes.
Well, brother, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know if you're a hugger or not, but you can get one.
Thank you.
I love you, man. That was awesome. That right there. We're done.
So proud of
That
you.
was
Good job.
amazing, buddy.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. I don't think there's nobody got on that stage that said, where'd you get that from? Did you just come up with that? I mean, I've heard similars, but that was...
Well, I got one of them from a really powerful and profound film called...
Here, I mean, we'll still talk. Like I said, this, I mean, because that wasn't a gold nugget. That was like the key to the back door of a gold mine that you just dropped.
Yeah, being honest is always interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, you just said something a minute ago that just blew my mind about the water bottles. Where'd you come up with that at?
Well, I actually saw it in... I have very high standards of... I like to watch motivational videos and videos that find me to motivate me, and my standards for those are very high. They have to motivate me. I do not half pass adding videos to the playlist I like. And I learned another quote from this really beautiful film that's about 30 minutes. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
The boy,
And-
the mole, the fox, and the horse. Okay.
It has some very profound quotes in it. I recommend you and everyone who needs to hear and watch a profound video to watch it.
I will be watching it here in a few minutes. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
One way or another.
You know, going
And-
back really quick to what you said about being yourself. And for those that are struggling and thinking that they want to do this, but they might not have something to say because they're not interesting, to me, the line that resonated the most as somebody that wants to get into this is honesty is always interesting.
This is very true. Honesty is always interesting. Young lady that was working at the event in the blue shirts. I talked to all of them. I talked to Big Mike's. I'm like, I asked him, I said, you do realize there's people walking around here that's making sleeping money? And he looked at me kind of funny. I said, let me explain. While they're sleeping, they're making money. He kind of looked at me. I said, how many more years do you want to do this job? He said, I'd quit tomorrow if I had some of that sleeping money. And so I told him, I said, so how soon you going to start your channel? A few minutes later, he come back and he said, Big Mike's podcast. I said, there you go. Well, then another one over there, he's going to name his what was it? Hot Dogs and Home Fries. But then the young lady, she said, well, she said, I'm into financial stuff. And she said, it's just saturated. There's too many people. And I asked her what her name was. She told me. I said, how many other people has that name? I said, a few in the world, right? I said, how many of them looks like you, talks like you, acts like you, and knows what you know? And I said, so I may know the information as good as you, but I might not can tell it the way you do. So it's our uniqueness that makes it. So don't worry about a saturated market. Don't worry about anything. There's only one Lucas on this earth. There's only one, thankfully, only one old country. You know, and so be who you are. Do what you want to do to be happy. There's going to be an audience out there. Now, that's when you get in, like Daryl and others will advise you, once you do choose to do this, yes, you want to pick something that you're going to do for yourself that you don't feel begrudged about doing. In other words, it will become a job. You've got to be doing it on a regular basis if you want to be successful. So you don't want to pick something just because you thought the audience wanted it. But then once you get going, yes, you're developing it for your audience. You want to find out what they're wanting, but it needs to be something you're passionate about doing. And I think you done got that covered. And you may pivot someday. You may decide, hey, not only do I want to do this, I want to do this or that. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Find what you want to do.
I like that you mentioned pivot, because up till now he's really had a faceless channel. And when he wanted to thank his followers for the views that he got, I said, put yourself out there. We did a short where he said, thank you for all the views and support. I had to stop for 2 years. I got sick, but please expect more. So maybe they'll be amenable to seeing a little bit more insight into his life and how well we're doing and how he's overcome some really difficult struggles.
Well, and it's very inspirational too, and we can go into the weeds or not, whichever, but it's very inspirational because one thing about it is there are individuals out there and there are families out there that are dealing with unique situations that aren't handling it well. They don't know how to handle it. They've not found their tribe. They've not found their support system. They've not, and so being willing to just be open and explain the situations and the things we go through, you never know who it might help. Yeah. And who maybe doesn't have the strong personality that Lucas does. That's like, I'm Lucas. I'm like Lucas. I can do the things that Lucas does.
Or a mom that can say, hey, I can advocate, I can do this too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, because they do have to get on the plane. I'd sure hate to be the reason that they missed their plane. Tell me a little bit about Mom.
Well, I don't have a YouTube channel up yet, but I have a podcast, and I also am an author of several books. I go by the name The Red Hot Chili Prepper.
The Red Hot Chili Prepper. I love it.
And I thought, how can I become unique in what is really a saturated market, and what can I do that is different, that can inspire people to prepare? So I combine my expertise in the area of preparedness. I share my journey from moving from California to the remote and very rugged Wasatch back in northeast Utah, where I learned how to hunt and process my own game, raise chickens, and just live that lifestyle. And then I combine my past history as an attorney, and as I talk about homesteading, I get into land use, water rights, liability with our animals, and firearms liability. I used to be an NRA certified firearms instructor, so I have a lot of stuff that I tie in there, and it's a lot of fun. I also talk about federalism and how decentralizing away from Washington, D.C. is the key to saving America. My book is called Federalism: How Decentralization Can Save America. So I have two unique genres. Sometimes I tie them in, other times I keep them separate.
Spectacular. So we're looking forward to that channel get going, but that you do have the podcast.
I do, two of them, Red Hot Chili Prepper podcast, and the one where we talked about current events from a constitutionally accurate perspective is called the Wasatch Report.
Wasatch Report. And where can they find those?
On Spotify, on all the podcasting platforms, and then my website is SuzanneCSherman.com.
SuzanneCSherman.com. And you do realize that YouTube is now the #1 podcast platform on earth.
And we will be going there.
There you go. And I think you've got a person who can help you out with that. And we've met several more that can too. And you're going to be in the book club too, so we're going to figure it out.
Oh, absolutely. My copy just was delivered today.
Spectacular. Awesome. Well, this has been a privilege. I am so glad I ran into you in the hall, because I was like, I have got to sit down with Lucas.
Thank you.
I've seen you all over the place, and of course you saw me running around. I was so busy, and it was so noisy over there that I was like, no, I'm not even going to try there. But I also want to commend you, because I saw y'all, if I'm not mistaken, I saw y'all walk in when you first came into Chicky, and I was sitting out in the lobby. You had your earbuds or earphones on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep. And so I knew, because my daughter, she has to wear, she keeps hers on the interior and stuff, and you know, there's just a lot of individuals, just noisy places bothers them. But what really struck me is it wasn't 5 or 10 minutes later. I mean, you walked behind me, a minute or two later you came back and you didn't have them on anymore.
They weren't on all week.
And I thought, he acclimated really fast.
By the end of the week, I wanted them.
And believe me, last night I needed them for sure. But that's what, you know, it just struck me. And like I said, never met you, didn't know anything. And this is the first time we've even talked about it. But I thought to myself, either he was just playing music, but I didn't think so. Or there's something that he realized, you know what? I want to hear what's going on here. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
It was.
You embraced all of it. You thrived. You thrived. You didn't just tolerate it. You thrived in it. It was awesome.
And sometimes we still, and I may run up to you in the hall one day and be like, hey, can you go stand in the corner and let me borrow your earbuds? Lucas, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
I want to end this off by giving a surprise to everyone that a happy accident was last night. I got soap in my eyes, and my eyes were very irritated. I almost didn't get up to go to the bathroom, and that is the only reason why we met.
Or had this interview today.
Yes. Yeah. And let alone have this interview.
I got a funny feeling there's more to it than that, because I was still looking for you.
Yeah. Well, this has been awesome.
Yep.
Thank
you. Thank you. That's made my day. That's made my whole trip.
Thanks.
Well, I can keep in touch with you through that channel.
Yeah.